our November rodeo meeting, we had the pleasure of listening to Bob Fox educate us on the challenges the rodeo industry faces today.
To start with, one of my clients is the Professional Rodeo Cowboys Association, and I've been representing them now for the last 12 or 14 years. Just some quick highlights, roughly 39 million fans with PRCA, over 6,000 members, 600 sanctioned rodeos throughout the country, $40 million in prize money yearly, and the PRCA is the largest sanctioning body for pro rodeos in the United States. The next organization is the Animal Welfare Council, which is an organization that was set up to help sport, and that includes rodeos, horse racing, horse shows. And we represent a wide variety. You know, many of you may know that circuses are really under the gun now, with animal rights activists saying they shouldn't use elephants because they're being mistreated. But we also have carriage operators, ranchers, and animal health people, as well as recreation. I serve on the board of directors of the Animal Welfare Council, and we get regular updates from them on issues that we're facing throughout the country, not just in California. This is what I mentioned earlier. Animal welfare is really a belief system that we, humans, have the right to interact with animals in industry, sport, recreation, and entertainment. But along with that comes the responsibility to provide proper care and handling of the animals. Animal rights, on the other hand, is a philosophy that animals have rights equal to those of humans. Animal rights extremists reject the use of animals for any purpose, regardless of treatment. They equate use with abuse. And believe it or not, there's an individual that not long ago introduced a bill that would have given animals the right to sue. Figure that out. Obviously, the person that makes the money there is going to be the lawyer. But that's how far, how far some people have gone, is that animals have the right to sue their owner if they're being mistreated. So, in order for us to survive, what we need to do is to be sure that we understand we're going to change in society. We must be able to not only explain why animals' rights campaigns are not good for animals, but also provide for the animals that we interact with in sport, and that includes rodeos, horse racing, horse shows. And we represent a wide variety. You know, many of you may know that circuses are really under the gun now, with animal rights activists saying they shouldn't use elephants because they're being mistreated. But we also have carriage operators. PRCA, some of you may know this. Can you see okay? Mind your way? All right. We've adopted over 60 rules just to take care of the animals. And that includes everything from having a veterinarian on site to having the veterinarian check the animals before the rodeo, check the arena, make sure the fences are safe. We also provide training for rodeo judges regarding livestock welfare. We educate rodeo committees, who are the ones really who put the rodeo on and contract with the stock contractor, to make sure they understand best practices and how to react if they have some protests. PRCA does require a vet at all rodeos, not only during the performance, but also during slack. And this has become a big issue lately because there have been several legislators that have introduced legislation that would require a vet on site at high school, intercollegiate, and amateur rodeos. And though you could argue that doesn't affect PRCA, I believe that it does, because if Cal Poly or a community college or an amateur rodeo has to provide for a veterinarian, that's anywhere from $400 to $600 a day. Well, where do you think that money's going to come from? It's going to come from the school, and it's going to have a real adverse effect on colleges and high schools' ability to put on a rodeo. We've been able to defeat that because we've been able to show that it just isn't necessary. There's a slide here later where I'll talk a little bit about the incidence of injury. Interestingly, on that one, we've gotten the Veterinary Medical Association, CVMA, California Veterinary Medical Association, supports our position on this because there just aren't enough veterinarians to provide services to rodeos throughout the state. The worst thing that could happen, probably worse than not having a vet, is to have a small animal vet who doesn't know anything about livestock. What are they going to do if a horse breaks a leg or goes down? They may or may not know what to do. So we argue that there certainly aren't enough vets, and absolutely there aren't enough large animal vets. We also monitor compliance with the rules and the effectiveness of our livestock program. Some of the rules, there's at least 2 judges at every rodeo to enforce the rules. They inspect all animals before the competition. The judges have to make a report of any violations to the PRCA office, and then those are handled according to the rule book. And the punishments can include fines, disqualification, suspension, or expulsion from the PRCA. The PRCA does a great job, in my opinion, of trying to educate the public. Rodeo Livestock booklet, several books on learning about rodeo, Twitter, YouTube, the ProRodeo.com website, the PRCA Hall of Education, and about 4 years ago, we started recognizing a Veterinarian of the Year to kind of thank them for the services that they provide to us. And that award will be presented at the convention, the PRCA convention in Las Vegas next month. Okay. One of the things that I want to mention, what is it that really makes us such an easy target for animal rights activists? One of the things I'll say is that for many of these people, the truth makes no difference at all. You would not believe some of the stories that I've heard where animal rights activists come in and testify before the legislature to describe why they think rodeo ought to be banned. So we need to be very, very careful and not answer a question by saying, well, this is the way we've always done it. That's not good enough. We need to be able to explain why we do certain things with our animals and the fact that we use perfectly acceptable livestock husbandry practices. Most of the time, veterinarians are involved if something like that happens. So we cannot react emotionally or unprofessionally. It does no good to holler or yell at these people. And this is a really important one. Trying to negotiate with activists just doesn't work. Their goal is to put us out of business. And I'm not just talking about rodeo. I'm talking about the livestock industry. Many of the people that are involved are strict vegetarians who think we shouldn't eat meat, therefore we shouldn't raise livestock. And that's the kind of person that we have to deal with. So we can't wait until somebody brings an issue to the legislature and say, okay, here's a video of what happened on this ranch or this dairy or this rodeo, because by that time we've already lost. And what I urge everybody to do is to get to know your local representatives, city, county, city boards, or city council members, county board of supervisors, and particularly state legislators, so that when there is an issue, and somebody goes to the council, it's not like
Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed.